And as always, he is kind enough to give us a few minutes of his time. There he is, the man. Hey, DJ, what's up?
What's up, Errol?
What just happened?
Oh, nothing. I was looking at my dog. She wants to go to the restroom, and my boys are eating lunch. So everything's good, man.
Okay, well, I apologize for taking you away. We won't keep you too long. You were very gracious. Okay.
You're fine. You're fine. You're totally fine. They're set up. That's why I cooked them lunch. Said, hey, I got to work. What do you guys want to eat? Made them lunch. Dog's fine. She's a German Shepherd. She knows what's up. So we're good.
What's for lunch, by the way?
So Maverick requested a hot dog with cut strawberries, and he didn't want any yogurt. And then Tyron wanted chicken sticks with cut apple and some yogurt. So that's what they're having for lunch.
Different meals for with me. It's like we're all eating the same thing here. This is not a personalized menu, okay?
I don't like to argue. I just ask what they want. Get it done.
I love it. I love it. You're like 2 hours removed from landing after an incredible knockout, one of the knockouts of the year, and you're back doing laundry. You were posting that on your Instagram.
Oh yeah, yeah, man, yeah.
This is what happens. You think it's the lifestyles of the rich and famous, and you're back doing laundry literally hours after you land. Are you jet lagged? Like, are you so used to it? How does your body react to these trips?
So this time we fought on American time zone. So I was doing my best to stay on American time zone. So right now I feel fine. Last night I was hurting really bad once it got around like 10 o'clock at night. But for the most part, I feel fine.
Okay, so you actually stayed up, like, because what time was it there when you fought? Like, was it like around 11 a.m. or something?
It was like 12 p.m. their time. So my schedule there was I would go to bed at 5 p.m. their time, wake up at 2 a.m. their time, which would put us at, I think, 11 a.m. our time. And then I would stay up from 2 a.m. all the way until 5 p.m. their time, and then try to sleep. So I was getting about maybe 4 to 6 hours of sleep a day, maybe 6 hours. I think 6 hours would probably be on the high end. And then the weigh-ins, that was the one that threw a monkey wrench in there because that was my schedule. So I would wake up at 2 a.m., stayed up all the way to 5 p.m. And then I went to bed at 5 p.m., woke up at 11:30, cut 3.5 pounds, and then stayed up to, woke up at 11:30, weighed in at 1 a.m. their time, then went back to bed at 3 a.m., then woke up at, I think it was at 9 a.m. So that was like the hardest day. Like that was the day I was like, what am I supposed to sleep? But we made it happen, and we Gucci.
Speaking of the weigh-ins, what was going on over there? Did he make weight, miss weight? What was happening?
No, he made weight. So he just missed the hydration. So for everybody out there, one championship, they do hydration and weight check. So let's say you go to the restroom. Well, go to the restroom. Before you jump on the scale, they want to check your hydration, the gravity of your urine. And if you're over if you're dehydrated, which is, I believe it's 1.0250, that's like the limit. If you go one over, that means you're dehydrated. So I think he missed the dehydration, and you get another opportunity to check your hydration. But here's the thing, if you're dehydrated, you have to drink water to get hydrated. So when you drink water, you gain weight, right? So, but then when you start to lose weight again, you get more dehydrated. So there's a science to it that a lot of people were missing the hydration part of it. And then eventually he made the hydration, and he also made weight the next day. And he was good. So
like when you fought on Friday night here, Saturday morning over there, how much do you think you weighed?
I weighed 138 pounds. They weigh us after we get out of the cage.
Okay, how much did he weigh?
I'm not sure. I don't have that number.
He looks massive compared to you is what I'm getting at. He looks gigantic.
No, man, we talk. Yeah, he's tall. I mean, he's definitely tall. I mean, he's the same size as my training partner, James. He's like 5. I thought he's 5'9", 5'10". Yeah, he's tall. Like he's a big body. But we talked afterwards. I said, dude, how big do you get between fights? I'm just curious. He goes, bro. He goes, I don't get over 145. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, dude. And I'm like, that's crazy. Because if I was 5'9", 5'10", I'll probably at least be once, I say this, probably 160, I like to think, just because, I'm 5'3", and I walk around 140, 140, 142, eating whatever I want. So, but yeah, he's just a big body. He's not like, I mean, when he was on top of me, he felt heavy, but just a big body.
When I was watching that fight, I was thinking of our conversation here about you just kind of having fun and letting it go and all that stuff. You're doing stuff like, putting your hands behind your back and all that. We've never quite seen, like, you have fun in there, but it truly felt like you were carefree. Like you were and you were aggressive and you were coming after him. Is this what you were referring to? Because it was a bit of a different side of you.
Yeah, 1000%. I think one of the biggest things that going into this camp, Matt told me, he was like, dude, he was like, we can be the same DJ that you've always shown and displayed, or we can just show what you really do in the gym, right? And he said, you're athletic enough to do stuff like that. Like you're athletic enough to, like be quick. He goes, you are quick, but when you're like this, you're not quick. So that was a little bit of it. And like I said, man, I'm in the point of my career where I'm just having fun, right? Like even when I lost the first time against Adriano, did all the media obligations, told him, I was like, dude, I got caught with the uppercut and blasting me in the face with a fucking knee. I mean, what can you do, right? And with this one, I was on the better end of it, giving him the knee, and nothing but respect to Adriano. And I'm just grateful I was able to go out there and showcase a different side of skill set that I have.
How are you feeling about the fight going into the fourth? How are you feeling about what you were doing going into that final round?
I felt fine. The biggest thing knowing about this fight is that Adriano's good. He doesn't get a lot of respect that he deserves, maybe because his style isn't as fan friendly, or he never got the opportunity to showcase his skill in America. But I knew this fight was going to be tough because the way he fights, right, and how long he is and how big he is. And for me, that pressure, I truly hate pressure, right? It's like, I hate putting pressure on myself. But then there's other flip side of me where I was like, oh yeah, I love this pressure. I want to see how far I can push. I want to see how hard it's going to hurt when I kick him, or when he kicks me, or when I get elbowed, or whatever it may be. So going to the fight, when I was on my back most of the time, like I know he doesn't like to pass guard. He loves to stay in half guard or full guard. And for me, I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I'm okay with being on my back, which is not the best thing to do. And in one championship, they don't score the fight by round by round by round. They score the fight as a whole. And as I went back and watched the fight, and I didn't realize how much damage I was doing to him from my back. Like I knew I cut him in the first round when I had him in that. I got him there, and I went there, hit him with the elbow. I hit him there, and I was like, ooh, okay, I cut him. Okay, and then I looked at it, and I was like, ooh, that's right above the eye. So that means blood's gonna be dripping into his eye. So that's gonna, kind of distort his vision. I was like, okay, perfect. We're fine here. When he tried to go to side control, I would recover my guard. I'm like, okay, you know what? I can probably invert and go to his legs and go for a knee bar or a heel hook, but I'm okay right here. I'm Gucci. And then so going into the you said how was I feeling going into the third or fourth?
The fourth, yeah, because you finished him in the fourth.
Yeah, well, going to the fourth, I was on the stool, and cornerman James and Tony were doing an amazing job. I look at Matt and I go, zombie time, and just took it to him.
What does that mean, zombie time?
It was a theme we worked on a lot in the training camp, which was it's how I kind of look at it. It's like zombie, just walking towards, just covering distance. I just call it zombie, just walking towards. And in the gym, I'll get lit up. Like this is probably the hardest training camp I had when it comes to like the strict being disciplined towards a game plan. And I just call it zombie.
Like meaning you go forward regardless of the shots.
I go forward. I don't care what I don't care what he throws. I'm gonna eat it. I don't give a damn. I just don't care. Like in order to get it done, I call it zombie. Because there's times in the gym where like I'll spar around, I'll be pop, 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 moving, being fast, elusive, and then I won't get hit 0 times, 0 at all. And then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be a zombie. I'm gonna train my eyes and my body to weather that storm and take the shots and eat it and keep pushing through. So I named it zombie. It was like, I'm just
6 years ago, DJ isn't doing no zombie time, right?
Fuck no.
2-3 years ago?
No, and no, this is something new.
This is like post knockout, right? Is this almost like you felt the worst of it and now you don't have to care anymore?
Yeah, and I think after when I fought Rodtang, like I felt like my mindset went on a whole different level, like visualizing and seeing the fight. Like even in a fight when he kicked me, when the downside when you have your hands down is that your hands aren't up to block stuff. So when he kicked me and nicked my top of my head and took my equilibrium, I was like, oh shit. I told him, I was like, haha, good for you in the fight. And it was just my equilibrium. I wasn't rocked like boom, like on like queer, like I don't want to call it queer street, but just like
Yeah.
like he just took my equilibrium. I was like, I lost my balance. And I was like, I was still there, like I eyeball to eyeball, and I was like, good for you landing that head kick. But yeah, so yeah, just something new. We're just trying to add it to my skill set.
Now tell me about this sequence, this final blow, if you will. This was incredible what you did, and it almost happened so fast that I feel like the untrained eye can't really appreciate what you did. Can you tell me, like, is this just you flowing? Like, what are you doing? I mean, the whole thing is incredible how quickly you do this to this guy.
So two things to that. One thing, the biggest regret I have in my career, and I never thought I'd have any regrets in my career, but now at this stage of my career, I do. The biggest regret I have in my career is not filming any of my upbringing in mixed martial arts, right? And the reason why I say that is that what you saw, what I did, that finishing sequence is what I deal with every single time I spar Matt.
Come
right?
on.
Like being straightforward. That's how he moves, like angles, lining up the knee, landing the knee, not to my face, but to my stomach, sparring in the ring. Like that's like Patton, like that's how he moves, right? And the second thing of that is that, yeah, man, that's the stuff that I learned from him my whole entire career, where he's like, when I'm drilling, I'm sparring, or he's teaching, he's like, that knee was too soon. That knee was too late. That knee was perfect, right? And as you see, when I'm going, I, fake and ducked, hit him with the right hand. And as he was wobbled, I knew in the fight, I saw it. And I know the cage where his back was going to the cage. So I posted a slow motion video. If you see it, that I'm always, if you look at my right foot, I went to southpaw. As a southpaw, you always want to be on the outside of his foot. And I'm slowly just taking my time, keeping distance. And as he falls into the cage, as his head hits, my knee's about to land. So it's kind of that, that double shot where he lands, and I hit him.
Oh.
But that's just the training that I've done over the years where, Matt's like, you got to wait for the right time, then boom, you landed. And there's times where I'm sparring, even in his camp, he's like, that knee's got to come quicker. It's got to be way quicker. Way too soon. You do it it's like trying to be perfect. And that sequence was pretty much like the bop, bop, boom, and then, and then boom. Like that was money.
Perfect? Would you call that perfect?
That sequence, I would say that's perfect. Like the only thing I take away from that sequence where it's bad is my hands aren't up. Like when I go show the left hand and duck down, my hands aren't up like a boxer. But you're not as quick here when I'm like this. Like I'm quicker when I'm this way. And that's the thing I'm just trying to get better with, is that being okay being here, But yeah, I'm happy with it.
It's crazy just you moving here, how fast you are. It's unbelievable. Like you even doing that, and you're not even doing that at full speed. And I'm like, holy crap, how fast this guy is. What's my favorite part of that whole sequence? It's not even the knee and how you set it up. It's you walking off afterwards. It's like the whole thing happened so fast. It's like one continuous motion that you knew you had him. You didn't even stop, right? Like you didn't even take a moment to be like, did I get him? Is he done? It's just all happening in one. That's amazing. How did you know you had him?
Well, when I hit him with the right hand and I saw in his eyes that like, this is going to be it, right? Because I knew that I was going to throw everything I had in this knee, everything. And once that knee landed, and you can just feel it, right? Like when I've been fighting for a very long time. I can tell, and also the body demeanor. And it was a tough fight. Like I'm not saying, like when we were fighting, he hit me with a lot of good blows too. So all the things that he did with throwing the elbows and the knees to me, and just the exchange we had, I knew that he was, his body was, his gassing was going down. So when I landed that knee, it was like the spirit bomb from Dragon Ball Z, dog. I don't know if you watch Dragon Ball Z, but when Goku throws that spirit bomb and it lands, like 9 out of 10 times the person's done.
No idea what you're talking about, by the way, but I take your word.
You go back and watch.
Yeah.
You can go back and watch.
By the way, you said all the right things after the fight, after the loss, the first one. You have to admit, the poetic justice of you knocking him out with a knee and doing it in that, like, that has to feel good, right? The revenge factor, it's got to feel good, no?
Honestly, it just feels good that the fight played out the way it did, right? Like, it wasn't like, there's a couple times where, I would kick him and he'll catch my kick and I'll go on my back. I'm like, God fucking damn it. I was like, of course he takes me down when I'm kicking him. Or when I had him, I try to knee him in the face and he picks me up and threw me down. Like, I'm glad there was like a little adversity in this fight. And then to be able to go out there and land the knee and have a walk off, it was like picture perfect. But as far as me landing a knee and I received a knee, that was just a shot that I chose, right? It was just a shot that kind of came natural, right? Because, as I was listening to the broadcast, people said my style is Muay Thai based. Like, I'm very Muay Thai based with my knees and my kicks, which I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, I didn't think of my mixed martial arts style, how I have my hands and I come forward, is Muay Thai based, but that was kind of cool when I heard that.
What about that on Amazon? Pretty cool, right?
Oh, dude, the Amazon Prime, I mean, that platform itself, and just, Amazon, everybody has Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Right. Let's just start with that. I'll be shocked. I'm sure there's people out there who don't have it, but I like to go on a limb and say everybody pretty much has it. And the fact that all you have to do is say, Prime Video on your controller and it's right there and you don't have to pay anything. It's super easy. It's very convenient for everybody. Like, they killed it, like, with the advertisement. I mean, like, way more people saw this fight than they did on TNT, and TNT is free to the public. So,
right.
A beautiful platform, and Amazon's happy. One Championship's happy with the numbers, and I'm happy too.
Man, that went truly viral. That knockout, like, everyone was posting it and talking about it. Did you get a lot of feedback afterwards? I feel like your phone must have exploded.
Yeah, it did. It exploded. And I wrote back to all the people who wrote me. I told my wife, I was like, I think I'm changing my number. Because for some people, like, because at the end of the day, like, I'm always grateful for the people who support me, whether I win or lose. And when I lost, when he blew my face out with his knee, people still text me. It's almost the same amount of people text me. There were a couple people coming out of the woodworks texting me, but other than that, it was I was grateful.
Yeah, man, it was amazing to see. It was amazing to see the love that you received. It was amazing to see all the appreciation for you. Is it possible to say, and I don't even know if you consider yourself, is Demetrious Johnson once again the best flyweight on the planet?
That's up to the public. That's up to the public, man. Like I said, I truly believe, like, when it comes down to it, when everything's said and done, and I walk away from the sport, I believe I'm one of the best flyweights to ever do mixed martial arts.
Stop
right?
it.
Like, I
Stop it. One of the best flyweights. I'm not going to let you. I'm not going to sit here and let you say.
Sorry. I mean,
you're the best flyweight of all time.
Flyweight.
But I'm saying right now, I feel like there's a strong case for you being the best flyweight on the planet.
So for me, like, I've said this in the past before. Like, I don't think I can make 125. Right? Like, I know I could, but do I want to do it? Absolutely not. Right? I don't think it'll be healthy for me. I don't want to jeopardize my kidneys or my liver. So I don't put myself in that category with, Pantoja, Figueiredo, Moreno, all those guys. I put myself in the category with, Aljamain Sterling, Peter Yan, Sugar Sean O'Malley, Dominic Cruz. Even though, I know Aljo said he gets up to 167. And I'm sure when he steps into the octagon, he probably weighs like 145, 150. But I'm not weighing 125 pounds. I can't make it anymore. I don't want to make it anymore. I shouldn't say I can't. I don't want to make it anymore. So for me, I see myself as a bantamweight here in America. Over in Asia, it's flyweight. So like I said, I can go on a long tangent about this. I just leave it up to public. You guys think I'm the best flyweight in the world right now? Not by in America? Dope. That's awesome. But for me, I'm a champ. I just leave it at that. Y'all decide. I don't want to go in this discussion.
I get what you're trying to say. You're the best bantamweight in the world. That was my mistake. I should have said. Aljo ain't got nothing on you. TJ ain't got nothing on you. on.
All right, Ariel. Next question, dog. Next question, dog.
By the way, are you going to fight in America? Is the next fight in America for you?
I'm not sure. It's whatever one championship wants. I think I'm probably done for this year fighting, and we'll see what first quarter of 2023 holds. But they are coming to America. Like they are.
That's a thing, right?
That is a thing. It's a work in progress. There's a couple of states here in America that have our rule sets because I don't think one championship is going to change our rule set and the hydration. I mean, I'm sure you watched the one championship 160. I don't know if you saw Christian Lee's finish, kind of like mine. I mean, he battered that man with the knees when he was on the ground at opponent. I mean, I got hit with, I think, 4 knees on my head when I was on the ground. And that part of the fight, you know, I was getting blasted with a knee. And then when he switched to the darts, I was like, I'm not fucking done yet. That's why I told my head, and I took his hand up. I got up and I started kneeing him. I'm like, if I'm going to go out, I'm going out on my shield. Just like the first time we fought. Like, I was trying to pressure him way too much. And he was running and running. And he came with the uppercut. When I came back home and I sat there and watched that fight, and I was like, I put myself in that position in order to receive that uppercut. Like, that was the biggest thing that I was mad about that fight. Like, when I lost to Henry and when I lost to Dominic Cruz and when I lost to Brad Pickett, I was like, okay, you guys, like, you know, the second time when he was shooting, I was like, like, I kicked the shit out of his legs. I should have, you know, I felt the leg kicks did more damage than what he did, because when you take somebody down, if you're not going to pass guard, there's no fucking point taking him down. That's my opinion, right? Like, if I take you down, I'm posturing, I'm trying to pass your guard. I'm not too concerned about throwing punches, because me submitting you is going to end the fight. It's game over, right? So when Henry took me down the second fight, I'm like, you going to pass my guard or you going to lay in my guard? Like, you're not passing my guard, dog. Like that's kind of like my mindset is now. Like, when I take Matt down in the gym, Matt's like, you going to pass guard or what? Because if you ain't, you might as well just back up and start trying to let me on my feet. So that's where that kind of mentality went with this fight against Adriano. Like, when he took me down, I'm like, you're not going to pass guard. Like, you're going to stay in half guard. You're going to stay side control, or you're going to try to batter me from guard, which I'm like, okay, I'll keep working. And I try to throw an arm bar and I try to throw a triangle in there, but you know, that's just me trying to get more comfortable off my back. And that's one of the things I've been working on a lot at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at Professor Jan's at Grapple Club. So I'm trying to be the complete, like, you take me down, I'm going to try to submit you or bang you up. If somebody starts trying to pass my guard, then you'll start seeing me get back to my feet more of an urgency, because side control, I'm in way more danger than when somebody's in my guard or half guard. And
by the way, which states adopt the one championship rules? Like, where could you fight?
So from my understanding, I know Colorado, Arizona, Florida, Georgia. I think those are the 4. I'm not 100%. I know Colorado does, but I'm not sure. But at the end of the day, when it comes to weight cutting, I think everybody should adopt that one, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, now when we weigh in from after we fight, and then they check our weight. If we go up 10% past our weigh-in, and they're like, you can't, nope, not anymore. And I think there was a UFC event where there was Tyson Nam. He weighed in at 125 and he blew up to 147. They're like, that's right. Like, they're going to they penalize you if you do that, because you have a guy who's 165 probably on a normal day, dropping down to 125 and then blowing way back up. So they're trying to keep, it's not very healthy to do that to your kidneys and whatnot. So, and that's why you're starting to see a lot of guys drop out in one championship due to illness and weight cutting, where it's like, dude, you can't, like, the dehydration days, those days are, you know, coming to an end, I think. You know, nobody tells me that I have to fight at, you know, 135. I choose this weight class. If I want to fight at 145, I'm sure one championship like, yeah, you can do it if you want. Or if I want to fight at 125, a straw weight, they'll say, yeah, you can do it, but you better pass hydration and you better, you know, make the weight. So,
last thing, what about that belt? I mean, that belt is gigantic. Do you have it?
It's heavy. I do have it.
Compared to the UFC, how much bigger is it?
It's double the weight.
So that wasn't like a thing that you were doing. You were falling back when he put it on you?
It's heavy. I think it's 25 pounds.
Wow.
Like, the UFC is 12 and a half. I think one championship's
double the weight.
25 pounds. Double the weight.
And you got to fly home with it.
Yeah.
Is that annoying?
I did fly home with it. No, it's not annoying. It's heavy. Like, when they're like, hey, can you bring the belt? I was like, guys, Like I told, I'm gonna tell them like, you guys need to make a fake one just for press comps because it's heavy. Like it's literally heavy.
It's crazy. You're fighting at 135. That thing's 20. Like you're not that much bigger than the belt.
Well, come on. I have 100 pounds on top of it.
I know, but like,
Well, 110 pounds.
Brock Lesnar holding a, 12-pound belt is like, it's a little toy. This is, what is it? 10% of your body weight?
You should say if you want to look at that. Yeah, it's massive. Like it's beautiful. I have the Grand Prix belt and the gold one. So
same size?
I'm happy. Same size.
Okay.
Same size.
You gonna do a new photo
I think
shoot?
the gold one might be heavier, I think. I haven't grabbed my platinum one in a while, so I don't know. What was that?
New photo shoot with all the belts now? The icon.
I don't have all my UFC belts.
Where are they?
I don't know.
What do you mean?
I have my 3. I have the one I won in 2012. I had the one I tied Anderson Silva's record with Wilson Hayes. Then I have the one when I threw Ray Borg up in the air for the armbar. So I have those 3. Then I have my Grand Prix belt and I have the one championship flyweight belt. So the other ones, like the story was I got them all to New York. I had all of them. And imagine each belt is 12 pounds, right? And we're at ESPN. I'm taking a picture. And then I was like, all right, I can't get this all in the flight. So Josh was like, okay, well, I'll take it back to Vegas and I'll send them back up to you. So they went back to Vegas in the UFC warehouse. And then that's the only thing I know. So I don't know where they're at.
So when you did that photo shoot, you didn't keep all those belts?
Ariel, it was so many belts. I couldn't get them on a damn plane. It was heavy. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. I thought you actually had them in your possession because you were talking about how you wanted them. And I always figured that was the moment where you got reunited with them.
I did. But like once again, it was so heavy, I couldn't get them on the plane. I had a solid plan. I had them sent back to Vegas in the warehouse, and I figured they were going to send it back to me. But I dropped the ball. So, but it's okay. I got the special ones. I got the meaningful ones.
No. You want me to call Dana right now? Figure this out?
Nah, it's all good. I don't need to talk to Dana.
No, I'll call him for you.
Yeah, do you want? I don't care.
You think he answers?
No, he like, what a joke. I didn't answer that.
Better chance he answers me or you?
I have no idea.
Last time you spoke to him?
Last time I spoke to him was in Vegas at a Circus Olay event. It was a martial arts inspired Circus Olay. And we chopped it up. It was nothing but love.
Post trade?
Post trade. Yeah. Post trade.
Wow.
I had I think I had 2 or 3 fights in one championship at that time. 2, I think it was 2 at least in one championship. Yeah.
And it was all nice, cordial?
Yeah, all nice, cordial. Man, I ain't got no beef for nobody, man. I keep it real and transparent. And I was just like, yeah, man, like.
You didn't say where my belt's at?
No, I did not say that. Because that was the last thing on my mind at that time.
Right, fair enough. Tell Malky to call him up. He's cutting all these big deals. Let's get DJ's belts home. Hashtag get DJ's belts back. I'm starting.
Don't see what you're doing right now.
Why?
You're gonna.
This is me looking out for a brother.
I know. Hey, I appreciate that. If they come, they come. If they don't,
all right,
they don't. Like if I got all 11 of my belts, I'll probably go give them. Not go give them, but I don't know what I'll do with them.
By the way, is that sleeve new?
I got it done after the Rotting fight.
Wow, I like it. Any inspiration? You look like The Rock.
It's my story.
This is your story?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
You'll never know because it's a long story. Inspiration from a lot of stuff that I've gone through in my life and passing my sister, meeting my dad, just a lot of stuff.
So all this represents something.
1,000%. Every single symbol does.
Wow. And what inspired you to do this now?
Not now. Like I said, I've always loved tattoos. Like every single tattoo I have on my body, it's always take inspiration for, I always go through a long period of time where I'm thinking about certain things. And my buddy, Jeremy, Family Parlor Tattoo in Puyallup, he did it. But, like I said, there's a lot of stuff I've gone through in life that's kind of shaped me the way I am. Growing up, not having a father, then meeting him, when I'm 30 years old and then seeing the man he is and like, man, what would my life been like if I had my dad in my life? Like he's absolutely incredible. incredible. And then the passing of my sister, to see that whole thing, and then to see just a lot of things that kind of like shaped me, right? Like after, you know, my sister passed, like that's where I was like, you know, watching her die, I was like, that's fucking in game right there. I can either choose to, you know, what's I'm looking for? You know, go peacefully or go traumatically. So all that stuff, you know, affected me. And it's just like, you know, a contribution to like my story of my life. And, you know, it's in a sleeve. It's Polynesian.
I love it.
My best friend's Hawaiian Chamorro. And this is an inspiration from him because he's kind of helped me, you know, get through the hardest times of my life and stuff. So, but yeah, man. So yeah, I want to get more, but then, you know, like I said, like I want to fill this piece in, and this might be, you know, something where I'm ready to hang the gloves up and like, it's like, I'm done. I'm not going to be this, you know, pursue this, what I do in my life anymore. So we'll see.
You're going to cover the writing?
No, not the writing, just this piece right here.
Got it.
Like,
got it.
This is always supposed to get covered up. This is not covered up. This is always supposed to be filled in. I was going to do a clock because time is a form of currency in my eyes that you cannot put a price tag on. Obviously you can, but it's currency that you cannot recreate, right? We only have so much time in our lives, right? And for me, like coming home, spending time with the wife and the kids is you know, it's something that I love and I appreciate it, and I hold very high. And
the writing is what?
This?
No, yeah, that. Yeah, on your right arm.
Oh, this, I got this when I broke my, so this was the inspiration from Devil May Cry. I believe it was Devil May Cry 4. It was a half human, half demon. His arm was a half demon, and his name was Nero, and he would punch people and he would grab people. It was also, the placement is the inspiration from Roger Huerta. He was a big inspiration to me, watching him, how he fought. He went out there and just destroyed people at his prime. And then, and the writing is basically contribute to like, it's kind of something I like dedicate my life to. You know, when I was an amateur, I broke my hand, got surgery. I'm in the warehouse, you know, with a mitten on, and I had a rod on my index finger, and the rod was obviously steel. In the warehouse I worked, it was freezing, so my hand would be the pain in the bone would freeze. So I'd have like an oven mitt on. And then when I broke my rib in my Muay Thai fight, I went back to work then on Monday, and I'm sitting there working like loading pallets with a broken rib. Then, you know, broke my leg against Miguel Torres. Here I am back at the warehouse with a broken leg. And my boss is like, I think that leg's broke. I was like, dog, I'm working. He goes, you might want to get that looked at. So I've dedicated my life and, you know, to mixed martial arts. And that's like how Steve represents. And I do it because, you know, I love it and pushing myself. And yeah. So yeah, all my tattoos on my body have a meaning of what it is. It's not just like, oh man, this tattoo's cool. I thought it was a dope thing. So.
Gosh, what a freaking legend you are. I wish I could hug you right now. That was incredible stuff. Thank you, DJ. I've taken up way too much of your time. So happy for you. And congrats on another incredible moment. A long list of incredible moments. If you retire today, you're one of the greatest ever. And the amazing thing is it doesn't look like you're slowing down, and you're just adding to those incredible moments. So much love, my friend. Thank you for doing this after a long trip back home. I appreciate you very much. Congratulations. Enjoy the time with the family. And thank you for always giving us time.
Thanks, Ariel. We're going to get you on my podcast. Nerds of Leisure. We're going to get you on there.
Yes,
so
please
I'll let you know when we're going to do that.
Please plug the podcast for me. What is it called again?
Yeah, it's called Nerds of Leisure. So all you guys out there, when I'm streaming on Twitch, you guys always come there and goes, hey, Demetrious, who do you think is going to win the fight this weekend? Who did that? I don't talk about fights when I'm streaming on Twitch. But now, me and my buddy, Chris, you know, we talk about the things that we're passionate about. One is gaming and movies and cartoons, comic books that are coming out. And then the other thing we talk about is fights. So we just did episode 3. We were talking about the UFC. We also covered One Championships, 160, and then my fight. So we're going to do episode 4 coming this week. We'll be streaming live on Zekin, but then we'll throw the podcast up on Spotify if people can't make it. So, but yeah, Nerds of Leisure on Spotify.
Awesome stuff. Good to see you doing that. I'm actually going to London tomorrow. I'm back on Sunday, and anytime after that, any day you tell me and I'm there. I mean, I owe you a million interviews for the amount of times you've come on and given me time. So anytime you want me, I'd be honored.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right. Take care, DJ. Thank you again and congrats again. There he is.
Thanks, bro.
Demetrious Johnson. What a freaking mensch. I mean, golly, what a guy.